Hi, everybody. I should have checked my microphone to make sure that it works, and I didn't, so is it working? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Oh, I should have checked this out. Sorry, I didn't. Yes, all good. Thank you, L. And thank you, L, for showing up. And thank you, T. Lamb, for showing up. And as you can see, I'm in Arizona. Um, but let me just say hello to some folks who are here already. Analog Synth Player, hello, Justin Wynn, Steve Ladner, and Tony Bello, and Crazy Potts, and Shauna Howard, and Alicia DeMoss, and Andrew Cruz, Patricia White, and MT Ishaka D Moore, Redhead, Oracle 11, Richie from Boston, fan page. Okay, Troy McCulley, and BMCC, Agnes, and Donna Davidson, and Winning Streak, Louisiana Skywatch, hey, Donna Davidson, hi, Jane Northrup, I think Barb in Ohio, hello, Step Down, hey, alright, Geo Factor 3, yep, you're the only one who recognized that maybe I'm not in Texas. Good on you, Geo Factor 3, and Jake M. Hello. I drove out to Texas, and a day and a half later, I was driving back. So, I came to a level of acceptance that my life is dead. I exist, my cats exist, but I've been chasing after that life that I lost. And I can't get it back. It's gone. I need to be in Anderson, South Carolina. And that's not going to be a happening thing. The reason why, I thought to myself, all right, when the whole thing came about with the GoFundMe and I realized there was no money, I got very scared, but I thought, all right, chasing. And I thought, you have enough for the first insecurity. Just do it, and you'll be able to do it. And you know what? There was a time in my life when I would say, you'll be able to do it, and I did do it. But at 65 and completely alone and no money and no resources and really tired, very, very tired. But I also realized very quickly, oh wow, this apartment, which is an attic apartment, the only windows were in the front rooms. 3 of them needed screens, and no windows in the back. And I would have to have air conditioning on 24/7 with fans. And I just thought, I can't do this. I don't like air conditioning. People thought that I was crazy in South Carolina when I hardly ever put the air conditioning on. And I was fine. In Georgia, I didn't like the air conditioning. I don't like it, and I literally get headaches, very stuffed up from air conditioning, and I just thought, I can't do this. I can't start from scratch again. Those days are over, Carol. They're over. And an amazing thing happened. I think the first night, I got there Tuesday sometime late in the afternoon. I started walking things up 1 flight of stairs, and that's also, I realized, I was about in tears, like the third trip. I don't have the strength anymore. So I completely empty apartment. I'm like, oh God, I can't do this. Yeah, defeat. And the subscriber here texted me wanting to know if we got here safe, wanting to know about the cats. I called her. The first thing I said was I made a colossal mistake. I must have said that several times. She called her son-in-law, who lives about a quarter of a mile. Absolutely amazing. Because I also knew that my car was not going to make it back. My car was not going to make it back, and I was very stressed driving there. Texas is hell driving through because it's endless. It's endless. It never, psychologically, as you pass states when you're driving, you feel like you're getting somewhere. You're not getting anywhere in Texas. You're always in Texas. Her son-in-law said that he would come. He has an excursion truck. He would come, put my car on a trailer, and drive back. Thursday, he was there during the first torrential downpour. It was truly amazing. What was also amazing was they wanted me back. Now, I realized today I've been feeling very, very down. When you have bad experiences after bad experiences after bad experiences, you need good experiences and good experiences and good experiences to balance you out. And I haven't had balance, except for this amazing man who drove out and put my car on a trailer and drove me back. Unbelievable. And it was the first time that I felt like someone had my back. I'm going to go on because I feel like I'm just going to burst into tears because I'm also really tired. But yeah, it's not about the traffic, it's not about it, it's just the length. It just goes on endlessly and you can never get out of Texas and you're always in Texas. But anyway, it was nice to hear that somebody liked me. I felt like, holy shit, now I can't remember her name when she accepted the Academy Awards. You like me. You like me. Sally Field. But that I was of use here. So I'm back, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do to shake off this horrible feeling that I'm having. But I did realize, if this air conditioning has to be on 24/7, I can't afford that. Certainly not in Texas. I can't afford it. I hope I get my security back. Still waiting, but we'll see. And Texas. Woke up Thursday morning. Look out. Flooded backyard, flooded drive, flooded roads. Beaumont, which is just, I guess, southeast of Houston. And I look out and I look at the flooded road and I'm like, well, he was coming. And it delayed our trip. And getting out of Houston was not fun. And then as I'm coming back here, I'm looking at these videos of all of the massive flooding taking place. And it's actually still going on. Oh, I was Louisiana Skywatch? Wow. I didn't know. I hate what has happened to me because of subscribers. You know, I can mention where I'm going now, or where I was going now, because I'm not there. I don't like not being able to trust subscribers. It really pisses me off. But those who lie, those who do awful things, the ripple effect of those behaviors are really far and wide. And it hurts everybody, you know, not just me, but it hurts, you know, other people who are perfectly fine, but I don't know, right? So you're always questioning now. Don't blame you, Carol? Don't understand. But anyway, whew, that was one hell of a week. I'm still trying to recover. What does Texas look like? Well, let's look first at radar. Indiana, Ohio, Michigan. They were talking maybe tornadoes in West Michigan. I don't know if anything happened since about an hour or maybe 2 ago, but I'm worried about Ohio and these supercells that are pretty friggin' dangerous. But really? You're going to tell me that that's a normal weather front? Oh man. You know, it's unfortunate that people are just not questioning what is going on. And these supercells igniting here, Alabama and Tennessee. Interesting, this is going up, this is coming down. Yeah, air masses just moving about in all different directions. And this just disappears here in West Virginia. This whole line of precipitation, boom, gone. Gee, I wonder how that could have happened. But this is very concerning, what's going on here, and who the hell knows what is going on here? Wisconsin, Minnesota, into North Dakota, with very dangerous pulses up here, just up here in Canada. Not good. So, I do want to start you off with Ryan Hall. He's live. He's live on the tornado situation, and I will put the link in, so you might want to just check out Ryan Hall if you're in areas of Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan as well. You've got tornado warnings going on already. So I want to start, and there were pretty bad tornadoes in Oklahoma, and we'll get to that, but first, Texas. Now, when I looked out the window, that was another I thought to myself, just a little bit more rain, and this water is coming right up to the door. As it was, I was having to put what I had taken up to the apartment back into the car, wading through 2 inches of water. I got soaked twice. The water level on the road, once it started drizzling, the water level did dissipate quite a bit. But once that rain started getting harder, that water came right back up. So, unfortunately, Texas is not a very safe state. It's just not. Neither is Louisiana. Neither are a lot of areas. But Texas, Louisiana, they get hit over and over and over again with massive flooding. You hear about the hurricanes. Oh, 2024 hurricane season's going to be fabulous, wonderful. No. I worry. I really do worry. Because just seeing, and I wasn't in the bad part of all of the flooding in so many different areas, right on up to Fort Worth, up north from Houston. And it went on for days. And then they had hurricanes. And the son-in-law and we pulled over in Fort Stockton at, I don't know, Love's or something, just to rest a bit. And then a day later, we were back in Arizona, and I hear a tornado, 2 tornadoes actually, struck down in Fort Stockton. And I was like, we had a window of opportunity to get out, and we were very lucky to take it. There was something very wrong with that rain, to say the least. So, let me start with this one more time. Former director of the Weather Modification Association in Texas. The Texas Weather Modification Association. Former director being interviewed on how they can make it rain. And wow, they can make it rain a whole lot longer and on a greater scale.
And when you say they responded very well, what does that mean?
It means that the storm lived longer and produced more rain over a larger area.
And how do we know that it did that? I mean, what if...
Okay, so did you hear that? That's what they can do. The weather modifiers, that's what they can do. They can make it rain longer, larger areas, and that's just with cloud seeding. How about all of the other technology that they're using now?
One or two instances when clouds didn't respond as we had hoped, probably because we got to them too late.
And when you say they responded very well, what does that mean?
It means that the storm lived longer and produced more rain over a larger area.
Now, if Texans heard that, don't you think that they might consider that maybe they're modifying the weather? Maybe?
Well, this is what Houston looks like after days of unrelenting rain. The US 90 bridge at the Trinity River between Dayton and Trinity was closed yesterday after officials said it was too dangerous to cross. This is video from yesterday, and you can see part of the highway was covered with up to 2 feet of water in some places. The river is expected to crest today. Yesterday in Conroe, Governor Abbott said there were at least 3 deaths reported across the state, and hundreds of lives had been saved thanks to the quick action of rescue crews and local and state leaders.
I talked about how 3 lives are lost.
It's bad. And there were a whole lot of people who were saying that it was like Harvey, Hurricane Harvey.
Now, Governor Abbott there said across the state, more than 600 people were rescued by local and state authorities. A disaster declaration was issued by Abbott for 91 counties impacted by the severe weather. Also, new overnight.
This is Jeb Stewart Lane here in the River Plantation.
So the video that I just showed you, that was today. That rain had been going on day after day after day with a couple of breaks. And that's what it looks like today. This started, I believe, Wednesday night or Thursday morning, or early Thursday morning. Yeah. Yeah. I'm reading Marcia's comment. My girlfriend was in Houston during Harvey. She had to wade through neck-deep waters with snakes. She called the National Guard for help. Yeah, they were saying that there was an awful lot in the waters. The flooding over the recent days.
Neighborhood. The street is lined with debris and now ruined belongings. The homeowner we spoke to here still coming to terms with how much damage these storms did.
The couches and stuff are floating in here.
Dusty Boatwright says the last few months have been tough for his family, and he didn't expect this 5 feet of water inside his home to top it off. This video was taken on his street last week, and here's what it looks like today.
We didn't get to move everything, and it's too late. A lot of emotions going through right now, just taking it minute by minute.
He's lived here since 2018, isn't from the area originally, and hadn't experienced this kind of flooding before.
I seen it on my Ring camera. The craziest thing I seen on my Ring camera is just 5 feet of water, and it just kept coming and kept coming.
Today, teams from FEMA, TDEM, and the Small Business Association will be in our area starting to do damage assessments. This as state officials are urging folks to report their damage in order for the state to receive federal assistance money. You can make the report at damage.t.
And I'm not saying, when I played that video of the former director of the Texas Weather Modification Association, that you have a Weather Modification Association, as all states do. That might beg some questions in people's minds, and I'm not saying it was cloud seeding. They used the nanotechnology, but people were saying that they had 7 feet of water in their homes. Okay. I'm sorry. That, I think, is pushing the rivers, pushing the waters with frequencies, and also bringing water up to the surface. Something is amiss. I wish people would just question, how is it possible that this is happening over and over and over? Oh, it's climate change, Carol. It might not be, okay? Might not be. Consider what your local conspiracy theorist is saying. Have a conversation. Be an adult. Open your mind. Just listen. And we are being attacked. We've got weather warfare going on. And they are taking out an awful lot of people with this weather warfare.
Evening in Clifton, where the Bosque County Sheriff is saying, quote, right now, Clifton is a virtual island with water all around it, end quote. The area.
Okay, so this was just posted as well 4 hours ago. So the flooding is still going on. The rivers are still causing an awful lot of the flooding.
Area was hit hard overnight by storms that brought heavy flooding, resulting in road closures and several water rescues. Now, this is an aerial look at the city of Clifton taken by police. You can see those high waters nearly covering buildings in the area. Officials say Highway 6 was closed at Meridian Creek north of Clifton and Nails Creek south of Clifton earlier today. Around this afternoon, the Clifton Police Department says Highway 6 had reopened at Meridian Creek and remained closed at Nails Creek and FM 219. The sheriff's office said all areas countywide are experiencing flooding and roadways are impassable at lower level areas. The department says travel is not recommended and in some areas not possible. In addition, vehicle was entrapped this morning. The flooding out of Clifton today was described as historic, one of the worst the city has ever seen. Our News 10's Chad Bothering has the details.
It all Clifton crested 35 feet this morning, just 3 feet shy of a record flood back in 1991. Clifton Police Captain Curtis Russ said this is the worst he's ever seen.
I mean, we're blocking roads that we've never blocked before. And growing up here, roads that I'd never seen flood before.
FM 219, along with several other streets, were blocked off due to flooding for close to 12 hours. Telephone poles along the river were submerged and tree lines on the Bosque were completely wiped out. The bridge that runs right over the river held water that was just under 5 feet deep.
First here, when they got up to its highest point, the little holes right here, the water was coming, hitting, and shooting like a little geysers through here.
What happened was this gentleman who you see here, we saw him.
This was just rain, okay? This was just rain. It was rain. It wasn't a hurricane. It was rain. I don't know why people can't turn on the light in their brains to start questioning why this is happening. Just rain. Oh, but it was a lot of the rain. Okay. Oh, man. So many people have a way to wall off that information that they just don't want to take in. They are being attacked. And right, Mama Rages. They do shut down the sewers and reverse them. There's so many ways in which they can create this kind of flooding. So if man can create this kind of flooding, one has to question, why is it going on? What is happening? Who is doing it? You can't just go to that default, oh, it's Mother Nature and it's climate change. This I just came across 1 hour ago, well, 2 hours ago now. This is the Trinity Bridge that just collapsed. In the very beginning, I showed you this video, and they showed the Trinity Bridge, that they were closing it down because a lot of the lanes were flooded. Just in, the bridge collapsed. So all of this creates an awful lot of chaos for all who are not just in Houston, but southeast Texas. But they also had major flooding up in Dallas-Fort Worth area. Look at this flooding.
In Texas, after catastrophic flooding and hundreds of people needing rescue. Good morning to you, Mola.
Well, good morning, Robin. Fortunately, the rainfall has started to ease a little bit here, but as you can see, the floodwaters still an area of concern, submerging homes and entire neighborhoods. As you can see, this park behind me completely underwater, making roads impassable and closing schools this morning.
This morning, more than 20 million people recovering after relentless flooding submerged the South.
It puts the fear of God in you.
The flooding conditions in Texas turning deadly. Police in Johnson County near Fort Worth saying 2 adults and a 4-year-old boy swept away when they tried to get out of their vehicle, which was stuck in raging waters. The man and woman survived, but rescuers located the boy's body hours later. He was reportedly just weeks away from his 5th birthday.
It's a terrible, demoralizing feeling. I mean, it ain't a fire, but it's a close second.
The Houston area inundated, 2 feet of rain falling in a matter of days. The ground so saturated, this tree toppled in this Kingwood neighborhood after storms hit the area. And the San Jacinto River swelling to nearly 78 feet above sea level, some 30 feet higher than normal.
I lost everything. Everything's flooded. Everything's all my things. I got my dogs though, and I'm going to relocate for sure.
What do you do next?
And start over.
Well, the region's
Highway 90 between Dayton and Liberty closing because the Trinity River keeps rising. This was the bridge that I just showed you that had collapsed.
Police in Johnson County say 2 adults and a 4-year-old boy were in a vehicle hit by fast-moving floodwater. A witness says all 3 trying to get out were swept away. The adults survived. The boy's body was found hours later.
Forced first responders to make rescues by boat and by helicopter. In Harris County alone, the sheriff says they've rescued more than 230 people and nearly 200 pets. Tonight, they're finally getting the chance to dry out after nearly 4 days of being under a flood watch. But now people living there are faced with another problem: how to rebuild.
I lost everything. Everything's flooded. Everything's all my things. I got my dogs though, and I'm going to relocate for sure.
What do you do next?
And start over.
And tonight, like Pete mentioned, a new storm system there headed moving into the Midwest, and first responders already activated. And
it is amazing. It is truly just amazing.
As much of it drains away after days of flooding.
It got up for sure to the top of that garage door over there. Everything upstairs should be fine.
Ryan Sunderland and his family are finally able to assess things after evacuating last Friday, while wondering if relocation may be the next logical step.
Somewhere elevated, maybe on top of a hill or a mountain at this point, because I'm getting tired of this water.
With flooding comes cleanup.
There it is, timber.
Something many are weary of after multiple incidents.
Harvey, I had 7.5 feet, and then in Imelda, I had about 9 or 10 inches. And then this one is 4.5 feet right there.
Nearly 75-year-old Gary Caskey is thankful his son can help start the process of possibly restoring his longtime home in the River Terrace neighborhood, one of several that were previously under mandatory evacuations.
Gut it and dry it out, and then maybe they'll come back with that buyout or something. I'm just going to get what I can, and that's it.
To add insult to injury, Caskey tells me this RV, which we got video of last week, was presumably stolen last night after he moved it to higher ground.
And, that's just awful.
But he and others are grateful they primarily lost only property.
So somebody stole his RV that he could live in? Holy shit, man. People suck.
Keith, let me give you an idea of what they're looking at here. Okay, I stand about 6 feet and a half inches, just 6.5, right? Here's the water line from this weekend storm, about 66 inches. That translates to 6.5 feet water inside of this house as well as outside and throughout this entire area. Look at what the damage is on the outside, though. That is all the remnants from inside of this home. All the sheetrock already pulled out, carpet, everything they could get out of here. They got it out as quickly as possible. Why? Well, the man who owns the home, George Gutierrez, also is a contractor. Why so quickly?
It's the important part, just to clean everything out, prevent any molds from growing. You got to rip everything out, the sheetrock, the carpets, and allow the studs to breathe. And then the remediation process takes place when you spray it with moldicides.
Most people don't realize that. They don't realize you've got to get this stuff cleaned up as fast as possible and rip that out. That's probably the most important part.
In my opinion, it is just to allow the wood to start drying. If you're in a position, then you can buy fans and dehumidifiers, and that will help even more.
George, you're a contractor. Not many people are in the same position. How long is it going to take you to actually get your house back up and running again as a contractor?
I'll be done by the end of the month.
So apparently, it's very important. You take the pictures for the insurance, and then you start ripping your house apart quickly. You don't want that water. You sure don't want the mold forming. 8 million under flood threat as deadly floodwater engulfs southeast Texas.
In Dallas, passengers struggling to escape rushing water on a roadway. And this empty horse trailer floating away in Hamilton, Texas. Since Friday, hundreds of people and pets have been rescued across the state amid a days-long deluge that has dumped more than 2 feet of water in some areas, including up to 2 inches today alone.
It's the worst flooding that I've ever seen in my career.
This river nearly swallowing an elevated roadway. Then an explosion and electricity crackling along these power lines, likely caused by the wet weather. That's crazy. The view from above showing homes underwater, sinking cars, and submerged street signs as 8 million people remain under flood alerts from Texas to Oklahoma and Arkansas.
Very little sleep. You're just worrying about the water going in the house. Hopefully it didn't go in.
This here was bad.
Oh my God. Some, like Erica Gines and Frank Courier, returning home to find almost everything destroyed.
But it's just wild to see like how much like damage it does. That's overwhelming.
And to think about just moving all this stuff in 14 days ago.
Like stuff was still in boxes. We had stuff over there and like the garage was full of stuff. Now it's all everywhere.
And for
so many homes. Got it. Yeah, cleaning up after Texas flooding. North Carolina sending help.
The National Weather Service says some communities northeast of Houston got nearly 2 feet of rain over the past week. Entire neighborhoods have been submerged underwater, leaving residents facing a long cleanup.
You could see it's just mud and soot, so this will all have to be power washed out.
In Harris County, where Houston's located, local officials urging those in heavily flooded areas to avoid returning home until conditions swept away. So many across the state now trying to make sense of the 5 days of rain, anywhere from 12 to 18 inches. And that's why you're seeing some of the images like this one out of Livingston, Texas here. This neighborhood, reportedly, some of that water is getting very close to some of the roofs of the homes that you see in this neighborhood alone. We know that there are not only some major roads across the state that are shut down, flooded over. We also know that many Texas state parks have also been forced to close because of just the excessive amount of rainfall and flooding that they're seeing there.
I think it was 90 counties. 90 counties had emergency declarations. Look at all those U-Hauls. Look at all those homes. Over and over and over again. That's what you're hearing from a whole lot of people in the southeast of Texas. And again, there's an awful lot who don't have the resources anymore to recover. I hope all of the neighbors, even those who have their own homes flooded out, are also caring for the elderly in their neighborhoods. It's a lot of businesses, a lot of homes. This is from rain. It was a rainy day. It was a rainy couple of days. Are you kidding? This is Conroe, Texas, and my God. Oh, this needs to be questioned. This needs to be questioned. People need to question it. People need to stop shutting up people who are trying to inform them. Texans, you've got a Texas Weather Modification Association. A whole lot of our weather, that severe weather, actually starts in Texas. You got an awful lot of weather modifiers in Texas. Look at this. Phew, boy. Oh, 18-wheelers were just floating on by. Oh, I can't listen to this.
Working, trying to get people out of some of those high waters, and in some places, the water's quickly getting closer and closer to fully submerging homes. Tonight, more than 100 people have been saved from high waters. Some of those rescued live in the small neighborhood in North Liberty County.
It's just sad for all these folks that's out there in this water and losing all their belongings.
Those fast-moving waters quickly churning along the Trinity River, swallowing up several homes in this neighborhood, forcing folks out.
I've already lost my vehicle. We'll probably lose all the furnishings in the house and have a lot of repair work to do.
Jackson was one of the many living here that had to be rescued. We watched as state agencies and volunteer groups went into the water.
It's really wet, it's running real fast, and it's coming up real fast.
Young tells me she's lived close to the river for more than a decade. She said the water was rapidly starting to rise here in this area, and while she tells me that it does flood, it's never been this bad.
And I don't know what a lot of people are going to do like me. I didn't get insurance because I can't afford it. I mean, I'm retired. I live on $1,100 a month.
She tells me she grabbed absolutely everything she could bring with her. Just a couple of bags with her belongings and her 2 dogs.
I left a cape that was hand-sewn by my mother for me. And I didn't meet my mother until I was in my 40s, and she handmade it for me, and I had to leave it because I left things that I've had all my life, too.
Reporting in North Liberty County, Giovanni Ligi, ABC 13.
I hate what they're doing to people. They're just breaking people. Really bad. Breaking people bad. That's why it's so important that we all pull together, you know?
Baumgartner may have done this before, but for others in Kingwood, this was new. Too new for John and Steph Paulson, who moved to this home 4 months ago.
It was so emotional to go through this and just to see our belongings just upside down.
The couple hasn't thrown anything to the curb yet because they're unsure where to begin.
We don't know, like, what's next, you know, like what should we tackle? It's like you're just trying to, like, get food, get places, because it's like we have, you know, like, we don't even have working septic or water.
Large amounts of water are not only creating issues inside of Kingwood homes. This neighborhood, it wasn't the water that got into the house, but roots that caused a problem. Houston firefighters say the rainfall, coupled with Sunday's storms, caused this large oak tree to topple. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Texas and Oklahoma. I mean, look at this. I mean, how is it that people are just not... I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get it. A whole lot of the videos that I was watching, not a whole lot, but this is a car, okay? And I saw videos where all you saw was a little portion of the roof. This is from rain, okay? This needs to be questioned. My God. My God. Yeah. Be alive after a tornado ripped through their home. This was in Texas. Tornadoes, flooding.
Casey Lambert says her worst fear as a mother came true Thursday as she and her husband held on to their kids as tightly as they could as a tornado ripped their homes to shreds. The mother told me she's thankful her family walked away with bumps, bruises, and broken bones as she received treatment at Wadley Eye Care.
Can you see that bright green spot? Okay, so that's where something hit your mom in the eye last night and just scratched it pretty deeply.
That happened to me.
Babe, can you wait 1 second, honey? Please? So yeah, Cedar Valley community underwater. A whole lot of areas. It's not just one little area, it's a whole lot. The scale of flooding is tremendous.
My grandpa's.
On their trek,
It really hasn't been this high since Harvey.
homes are flooded up to the roofs. Power lines skim the water's surface.
Oh, yeah.
Belongings bob down the river.
None of us expected it to come up this fast and be this high.
This is the result of historic water release from the Lake Livingston Dam. Homes that are here right on the bank of the Trinity River on 11-foot stilts now with only a couple feet of clearance below them. A lull in the rainfall, but the Trinity River Authority says Lake Livingston is still rising, forcing the group to release historic amounts of water from the dam, dumping it onto these homes.
We're, I guess, more accustomed to it. It's not as shocking for us because we're so used to it.
Let me hold on to it.
For the homes still above the surge.
We're good as of right now.
For those forced to evacuate,
We know who needs help.
coming to grips with the loss has just begun.
Random storm that has caused all this.
Oh, and this is today. They're still dealing with the flooding. Fast rise of floodwater stuns Kingwood neighbors.
More unwelcome news for parts of waterlogged Kingwood today. More water. This is a live look at the area right now from Skydrone 13. The water came up pretty quickly in some spots. Needless to say, new roads plunged underwater. Several homes are now unreachable.
ABC 13's Luke Jones is live at a shopping plaza in Hamblin at Forest Cove, and he's been watching that area.
Yeah, what we're seeing out here, truly incredible, because there was a time this morning when this entire parking lot was bone dry, and now look, all of it covered in at least 6 inches of water. Let's go ahead and show you some video from above, but also I want to show you kind of the progress the water is making today. So around 11:30, just a few of these parking spots up here, the water had reached them. Most of them, though, they were good. And this gas pump, it was definitely on the higher ground, but around 3:30, 4 o'clock, that's when the first water reached the gas pumps. We were talking maybe 1 inch, and now at 6 o'clock, 6:30, several inches here, and the rest of this shopping plaza, as I mentioned, inundated with water, and that's why all of these business owners think it's just a matter of time before the water gets inside. make it in the bar.
We're expecting about probably 2 to 3 feet inside.
And this, Conroe community begins cleanup after flooding. FEMA announces new process.
Well, the past few days can only be described as tough and draining for the folks who live out in this community. But for people like Angel Payshak, who lives in this home here just behind me and got several feet of water inside her home, you can actually see the water line there on the brick, has an unbelievable spirit. Her plan to rebuild bigger and better.
Water line was about right here.
You guys weren't home when this was taking place?
Yeah, we were staying with his family at the time, and then the nervousness of not knowing what's happening to your house and everything else. We tried to come here, and the police officers had the roads closed, you know.
Angel Payshak is doing what she can to focus on the positives, but it's easy to understand the emotion she might feel when walking through her home. And when you actually got in and you were able to see the house, you've only been in here for about 2 years. What was your gut reaction?
I mean, it's heartbreaking. So,
of course it's heartbreaking. Of course. And it's very stressful. Very stressful indeed. So, this happened. Yeah, the nighttime tornadoes. Oklahoma. Bardsdall, Oklahoma. So from flooding to tornadoes, I'm telling you, the weather warfare, they are picking it up at well, I don't want to use this word, but with a frequency that I have never seen before, and I've been doing this for 13 years, trying to capture every weather event, which was impossible, but this is what happened, Oklahoma, in the early morning of today. Many lost their homes, towns were decimated. Look at this. Yeah. How many people do you think have the resources to recover? How many elderly people are just so screwed and terrified? It's bad. Bardsville, bad. Or Barnsdall, sorry. Well, there was another town, Bartlesville and Barnsdall. This is Barnsdall. I think Barnsdall got the most destruction from the tornado. Look at this. Home after home after home gone, leveled. And they're saying that it was an EF 3? Oh, don't quote me on that. Even the homes back here. Which you would think you would see, you know, the trail of the tornado. So it's hitting homes here, right? You would think you would see the trees flattened where the tornado is going. So I guess it's just like those fires, hopping over all of the trees and hitting a lot of homes. Here it is. These homes got it too. Yeah, tricky tornadoes. Tricky tornadoes.
Staying in Bartlesville, with much of the area seeing power outages and damage there too. 2 News Oklahoma's Douglas Braff has been on the ground there since early this morning. Here's a look at what he's seeing.
The storm that tore through Bartlesville Monday night left residential areas like this one flanked by walls of fallen timber, broken pieces of homes, cars, all scattered throughout their yards.
It's pretty shocking, to be honest. Came out of nowhere.
From trees piercing homes to trampolines stuck atop telephone poles, the damage was widespread.
Watch your step.
But so was the human impact.
How long do you think the cleanup's going to take?
I got no idea. It's a long time. A lot of probably like this. I don't even think this house, the landlord's going to keep this house after all this damage to it.
Dennis Young lives here with his extended family. The storm blew a massive chunk of their roof into their backyard, which is now littered with trees, house debris, and with downed power lines. They sadly may need to move away because of it, a painful choice that other Oklahoma families will certainly make. But the damage in Bartlesville was not limited to that area. Monday night, some strong storm winds blew the metal roofing off a building right over there, all the way to that Hampton Inn, cascading a whole bunch of metal debris across the property. We own the little car was hit by that same storm.
Yeah, there are people that from other neighborhoods, friends, everybody just instantly calling, checking, what do we need?
I'm Douglas Braff reporting in Bartlesville.
Playing out, and it's turned deadly now. Houston with 2 feet of rain in just a matter of days. Thousands forced to evacuate. Homes and neighborhoods tonight underwater. First responders making hundreds of high water rescues. A Houston police officer on a jet ski rescuing a man and his 2 dogs who were treading water outside their flooded home. And tonight, Texas now reporting the storms have taken 3 lives, including a 4-year-old boy, when the family car was swept away. ABC's Mola Lengi.
Highest warning, a particularly dangerous.
All right, I thought I was getting to more tornadoes. At least 16 tornadoes reported in 6 states Monday night.
This morning, violent storms slamming the Midwest. Life-threatening tornadoes touching down across multiple states. In Oklahoma, several homes and businesses reportedly destroyed.
It's going to be for a tornado hit there, the house is fallen, there's a person trapped under the house.
Authorities say search and rescue efforts are underway. About 150 miles west, these dark tornado storms threatening the 1,000-person town of Okeen, Oklahoma. Lightning electrifying the skies in Guthrie. Forecasters have issued a rare high-risk weather warning for the area.
Pay close attention to this storm. Listen to our language very closely, listen to our tone, and be ready to seek shelter if a tornado warning does come out on this.
In Smithville, Tennessee, a tornado ripping up trees and destroying homes.
It was like a whistle from the tornado. It sounded like a whistle to me. And then there was just like loud noises everywhere.
Damage and large hail reported in Kansas. Strong winds and heavy rain also pummeling London, Kentucky and Harrisonburg, Virginia. Further south in Texas, people still recovering from major flooding. Governor Greg Abbott announcing at least 3 deaths due to the severe storms, including
An emergency for millions, and at least 10 reported tornadoes, including a twister that rippled through Holly, Texas. Maria Villarreal is there on the scene for us. Good morning, Maria.
Hey, good morning, Michael. People in this area, they knew it was going to rain. They knew they might get some severe weather, but they never expected anything like this. The sheer force of that tornado completely destroyed the home that you see right behind me.
And this is in Texas.
And in fact, there is debris everywhere. We also were able to see metal roofing from a home about a quarter mile down ended up in the tree that you see right behind me.
We watched a tornado touch down right behind our house.
Overnight, tornadoes touching down in central Texas.
That was scary. That was really scary.
At least 1 tornado confirmed near Abilene, west of Dallas. This one touching down in Holly.
The thing is just sitting there,
leaving significant damage in its wake. Homes torn apart, trucks tossed around, storm chasers scouring the debris looking for victims. And from above, the sheer scope of the destruction on full display. Millions of other Texans face dangerous storms across the state.
Around Houston, life-threatening flooding.
In 25 years that I've lived here, I have never seen it flood like this.
Parts of Texas reporting 28 inches of rain in just 48 hours, stranding drivers.
What are you doing? You're driving into the creek. No, 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 no. Stop. Stop. No, no, no.
Onlookers screaming as rushing water swept this car away in College Station, Texas, northwest of Houston. Authorities and neighbors aiding rescue efforts.
2, 3. Get you later. We got you.
Up to 10 inches of rain falling in some areas.
The creeks sometimes fill up, but never in our house like this.
Never like this. It's bad. Barnesville, Oklahoma, left unrecognizable after deadly tornado. I have to do something for a few minutes. I'm going to let this play out. Yeah, you know, and guess what? I hope you're all taking this in and thinking about, okay, what will I do when I get hit with weather warfare?
This is the scene here in Barnesville, Oklahoma, and you see we're on the outskirts of the town. Not allowed to go into the town because it is still a very fluid situation. So officials are keeping media at bay, but we're on the outskirts, and look at that. You see behind me, I'm going to have Lloyd just kind of walk a little bit into this. This is just one area that is full of the destruction, the catastrophic destruction from this twister that came in last night in this tornado emergency. And you see some of the people that are trying to bring out some of the belongings here this morning. And all of this area just ravaged this town of about 1,000 people north of Tulsa. And you see, this is what we're dealing with here this morning. Aluminum just strewn everywhere. Preliminary EF3, it could be higher as National Weather Service will be out here. And if you could, just let's walk over here and let me see if I can walk through some of this water and debris. Miss, I have a question for you. Were you in one of these structures?
No, my dad and grandma were. They went over.
Your dad and grandma, and are they okay?
Yeah, they're here. They're alive. She was on hospice, but she's okay.
Oh my God, thank God. What's your name?
Cassidy.
Cassidy, what's your last name?
Yonker.
Yonker, and how about you, fella?
Let me see.
Hi, are you okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Good. What was this like last night?
We are from out of town.
Okay.
Yeah. We're in Barnesville, where some other stores hit, so we're good.
But they're okay. Are they getting treatment right now, or are they at a family or friends?
Yeah, this is my dad up here. If you want to talk to him.
That's your father up there.
Yeah.
The gentleman on the right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Lloyd, come with me. We're gonna go try to talk to him. Thank you. I appreciate it. Lloyd, as Lloyd maneuvers through here, maybe take a look at the vehicle and some of the debris that is on here, and let me see if I can just get a word. This is very fluid, everyone. We'll see if we can get a word here and interrupt. Hi, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. I'm Robert Ray with Fox Weather. I was just talking to your daughter. Yeah. Are your parents okay?
My mother.
Is she okay?
Yes, she's fine.
Okay. What happened? Were they able to take shelter, or?
It was her and I.
It was?
She's on hospice care, so somebody was staying with her all the time, and I stayed nights, and my wife stayed during the day, and I just picked her up, and we made it to the back bathroom, and I covered her up with my body and rode it out.
Can you show me, if you can?
I would rather not.
You'd rather not walk in there?
Well, it's not stable.
It's not stable?
No.
Okay.
No, I'd rather not have anybody else go in there.
But your mother's okay?
Yeah, she's in my house.
She is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you going through this right now? I know it's still very, very fresh.
It's too fresh. I'm just trying to do what I can do.
Have you been into the town and have you seen some of the destruction there?
Yeah, it's bad.
Describe it.
It's bad. It's this bad.
Swaths of it throughout the town?
Yeah, along First Street and the creek, and then up over Wrangell Heights and to here. And you can see where it went over the hill. It left a path.
Did you get eyeballs on the twister? No.
I could hear it.
Yeah. What did it sound like?
It was just a big roar. But I could hear it, and that's when I got her when we went. So I didn't see it, no.
And you had warning enough to try and take the...
Well, they did it. They lit a siren off probably 15, 20 minutes before, and then about 5 minutes before.
Okay.
And yeah, we had plenty of time.
Okay.
But like I say, she's in a hospital bed. She didn't want to be moved. I said, well, we're going to move.
Oh, thank God you did. Sir, what is your name?
Carl Kelly.
Sorry, again?
Carl Kelly.
Carl Kelly. And how do you spell your first and last name?
Live Storms Media can't play it, but this is Barnsdall. A lot of people lost their homes this week. A whole lot of people lost their homes this week. Just this week. Oh boy, man, oh man.
Multiple people were hurt. No word on how many or how serious those injuries are, but our Robert Ray is in the community of Barnsdall and spoke to a tornado survivor.
You can see him.
Tell me what happened.
It just hit all of a sudden. I felt pressure in my ears, and it just got really, really loud. And the cellar door blew open, and there was just stuff blowing everywhere in the door. There was a pergola here. We had a pergola on top of this. This is the back. And this is the cellar where I was in. We was trapped in here. The last tornado, a tree fell on it. We were trapped inside.
You were in this cellar right here?
Yes.
I was at work and come home and she was in there.
Show me what you did.
I just came up out of it. The storm, see this door, we have this chain to latch it, and I even had it latched to a bolt in the floor, and it just ripped it off, and there was just stuff blowing down in there, and I just got in the corner the best I could with my little dog.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm missing my cats are gone.
Did you have enough warning when this came in to get into your cellar?
Yes, I did. I was in it probably a half an hour, and I was thinking about getting out. But my husband called and said a spotter said that there was another cell coming, so I stayed.
Brian Hartman works at the plant down here is where I work, and he's the one that sent all of us a warning out to take cover. And so shout out to Brian Hartman.
Yes, or I would have been out in it because I was going back in the house. I would have been in the house.
Wow. So somebody is questioning if these tornadoes, these outbreaks of tornadoes after the eclipse, we had outbreaks of tornadoes before the eclipse. It's really just horrendous. But incredibly rare tornado spinning in wrong direction hit Oklahoma. Surprising meteorologists. Oh. Spinning in the wrong direction. Well, isn't that interesting? What's also interesting is now this posted yesterday. Rare tornado spinning the wrong direction forms over Oklahoma. May 3rd. What's going on? So, you had a rare spinning in the wrong direction of a tornado on twice, May 3rd and yesterday. Isn't that interesting? It's rare. It's rare. EF3 tornado.
A big area of total destruction.
Jerry, it breaks our heart. We can hear it in your voice as well. You were hit with an EF1 back on April 1st, 2024, just this year. Not as wide as impact, but this is a completely different story. Your town, known as the Big Heart town, certainly feeling it this morning. As the sun comes up, what is your next step as the sun comes up and you start to look at the damage?
Well, as soon as we can get in there, we got crews sitting here waiting right now to start clearing the roads so we can get in there and get the utility crews in but we still are going through the rubble to looking for more people.
So
we're trying to figure out all of the damage, and I think honestly police are too, because when I was speaking with Captain Ward, he was like, look man, we're hopping around everywhere. But
Well, Tracy Marius, we're on North Congress Boulevard, where right behind me you can see a house was badly damaged by this tornado. You could see windows shattered, the roof is caving in. There's just a lot of damage on this side. You could see the shingles were ripped off, some shutters were ripped off, some of the lining on the house was ripped off. Like I said before, windows shattered. You can see some shutters on the inside. Pieces of it were ripped off. Now, firefighters tell us in the area somebody was home, some people were home, but no one luckily was hurt. Now, if you turn over to the right side, my right of this home, you could see there was a shed or some sort of garage that was also destroyed. You can see it was built with some sort of cement blocks. Those were ripped off of the side. The ceiling was ripped off of the side as well. You could see that there were some trees, the limbs were pulled off. People in the area seem very distraught, very shaken up. I spoke to some people who live a little further down the road who also had.
As miserable is life when you're paying attention. Just think about all of these people suffering the weather warfare, the economic warfare, how miserable life is for them. Far more miserable. Tornado touches down near Smithville in Tennessee.
It happened in a matter of seconds.
Just quick.
1 minute he was sitting in his living room, and the next Willie Moser was taking cover.
I seen the warning on TV, and I looked out, and it didn't look all that bad. I looked up in the sky again, I seen debris twisting, and I knew it was time to go. This is the second one I've been in, so I knew what to do.
He says he rushed over to his wife, grabbed a flashlight, and they ran to the basement.
I could hear debris hitting the house real bad, and I knew it wasn't good.
What he was listening to was a tornado ripping through trees, homes, and power lines throughout Smithville.
And then the second it's gone, I come out and look and seen, I knew my garage is gone. I seen it, and it's just devastating, as you can see. If you want to get a picture of it, there it is. It's awful.
That tornado.
Sullivan, Missouri.
City of Sullivan pretty much doesn't have damage anywhere close to what this pub does. So behind me, I've showed you the front of the building. This is the back of the building, and somehow, if you look really closely here, some of the liquor bottles are still intact while the entire bar has just been gutted out. I mean, there's insulation out here, beams out here, debris, and there's been a lot of people trying to salvage what they can so far as they work toward what's next here. Now, I spoke with the owner, Jane. She says they've been owning it for about a decade now. It's a staple here in the community. She says the building's been here much longer than even her bar and her ownership. And she tells me what it felt like to get that call so early in the morning.
At around 3:45, I woke from the siren alarm going off. On the way, the police called me, and I said, well, how much damage is there? And they said, it's done. It's gone. I was like, okay.
Now, I talked to...
It's gone. How about Brazil? Have you noticed what's happening in Brazil? A whole lot. Oh, but first, the flash flooding in Yorkshire, England. Bradford. They get you every which way. Southern Brazil.
Crews using helicopters to airlift stranded residents to safety.
Infelizmente, será o maior desastre que o nosso estado.
Smashing into homes, gaping holes left in roads, others completely overrun. Even this animal caught up in the raging current. The floods killing at least 10 people, leaving more than 20 missing and forcing thousands to flee their homes.
A gente não sabe como que vai estar a casa da gente, as coisas da gente, que tanto trabalho a gente passa, né, no dia a dia para construir, né, e para conseguir comprar. E aí agora chegar do nada e a gente ter perdido tudo, né?
Local authorities now calling on the federal government for assistance. The president of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, touching down in the region, greeting officials on the ground.
Eu quero dizer para vocês que não faltará da parte do governo.
And I just want to say, all of these leaders know full well that weather is being used as a weapon. They know it. And they don't say anything. Disgusting little shithead.
Assistance as it tries to keep its head above water. And Tom, weather experts in the region say these extreme conditions are caused by the El Nino and La Nina.
Please.
The floods have wreaked havoc in at least 300 towns and cities, destroying bridges and roads. More than 40,000 people have been forced from their homes. Many others are isolated with no electricity or internet to inform authorities of their whereabouts.
Since Tuesday, we had no news of our relatives, but thank God the fire department has told us they are safe.
In the state's capital, Porto Alegre, the Guayaba River has broken its banks. 4 water treatment plants have been closed, and the mayor has alerted the population that drinking water may soon become scarce. The rains have also caused landslides and the partial collapse of a dam. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has promised the survivors federal aid to rebuild homes and local infrastructure.
I know you will.
I can't even listen to these people anymore. Look at this. Look
8
at this.
people, more than 115,000 people have been stranded without food or water amid flooding from storms over the past few days. Now, the downpours affecting more than 2/3 of the nearly 500 cities in the state of Rio Grande do Sul, which borders Uruguay and Argentina. The rain has also triggered landslides and the partial collapse of a dam at a small hydroelectric plant.
Eu sei que tem muitas estradas estaduais que estão com problema. Eu quero lhe dizer que não fique preocupado que o governo federal, através do Ministério do Trânsito, e na reconstrução das casas já é preciso levar em conta, é preciso que as prefeituras...
Tem 2 anos de idade?
Considering that this is going on all over the world, you know, Texas and Brazil at the exact same time, and massive flooding, you know, very high. They're sitting on their roofs. They're waiting to be rescued. You would think that people might start questioning what the hell is going on. So, approximately 1 million in this area, this state of Brazil, left without water or electricity. Look at the scale of this. Look at this. Okay. Well, it's only going to continue, and it will get a whole lot worse because they have to kill off an awful lot of people. How about this? 4 gunmen shoot up homes and cars in Memphis, in Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee neighborhood. Check this out.
Take a look at this. This disturbing, shocking surveillance footage shows a group of armed men opening fire in the front yard of a home. Tonight, Memphis police are trying to track these suspects down.
Now, that video was shared by a woman who told Fox 13 she was cowering in her car just feet away when those bullets started flying. Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu is live at MPD's Austin Peay Station right now. Jack, thankfully, no open fire.
Just wait until those, the migrant cells start coming out.
Anna Sample's yard, an open fire. 3 of them stay back. 1 runs through the yard, right up to her bushes, and shoots through them, all while Sample was sitting in the driveway just after getting home from work.
I had to
turn to your national headline.
We do seem to have a lot of cars going airborne, right? Why? What the hell is wrong with people?
Incredible video. That driver was attempting to make a turn at a high rate of speed and wound up launching their car into a home in Harupa Valley earlier this month. One eyewitness says the driver lost control and crashed into the house, damaging 4 parts.
Oh boy, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll never get it. What is this? Texas suspect crashes into utility pole.
Oh! Oh! What the? Oh! Oh!
Oh, those high speed chases. Oh, into thin air. And I'm going to drop his channel link in the chat one more time. And if you don't know Into Thin Air, you might want to check him out and subscribe because he's posting a lot. There's very few channels that are posting on, well, certainly our anomalies, but the weather modification that is taking place, and Into Thin Air is one of them. But check this out.
Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Hey, what happened?
May 6, 2024, and look at your screen. It's back once again. No joke, my friends. I was just on InfoWars with Harrison Smith talking about this less than an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago, and this thing popped up. I literally predicted this to happen, after we saw a bunch of different weather anomalies and earthquakes in this area. This was projected to happen, and here it is. Once again, the Antarctica wave anomaly has popped up at exactly 11 a.m. on the 6th. We can watch it right now. They will probably remove a lot of this future data, but here it is again. This is the 5th time now that we are seeing this take place from the exact same island. Look at this. This is the biggest one we've ever seen, 83.7 feet. You're going to want to go look at this before they make it disappear again, but here it is. This is absolutely a frequency weapon of some sort of frequency technology that is only...
And you can see the technology. You can see the waves, the frequency waves, if you look closely.
Picked up on the Waves tab for whatever reason. I think that's how this program is made to pick up information. Look at this. This is absolutely incredible. We haven't seen anything like this ever. This thing is extending through the entire continent of Africa. Of course, these waves are more than likely not real, but we've never seen anything like this, my friends. You got to go check it out before it's removed, because this is by far the biggest one we've seen. They're probably even mocking us at this point with this, because no joke, right after I got done with this interview, this popped up on the chart again. All right, my friends, I'm going to dig into this. Enjoy. This is by far the...
Okay, so he's going to dig into it and go over and subscribe to Into Thin Air. And new nanotechnology findings will shock the world. Picture of self-replicating nanobots in urine. In urine. Oh, do we have nanobots inside ourselves? Yeah, we do. And I will post the link to this video. Hope it's not too long. Got it in. Okay, good. So, you might want to check it out. All over the nanobot, the new technology that is taking over humanity, where unsold EVs go to die. Belgium's ports drowning under glut of Chinese imports. The EV industry is not doing very well. Look at all of these electric vehicles. People don't want the electric vehicles, but we keep subsidizing that fabulous industry. Like Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, doubles down with an $827 million giveaway for Rivian, I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, doubling down taxpayer money for the expansion by the troubled electric vehicle maker. People don't want these vehicles. He's giving over nearly $1 billion to this Rivian to expand its electric vehicle factory in Normal, Illinois. That's the name of the town. The expansion is expected to create at least 550 full-time jobs within the next 5 years. Next 5 years, and will build Rivian's next model electric vehicle, the R2. Rivian initially got $49.5 million under Bruce Rauner in 2017 to create 1,000 jobs at the same location. Rivian is on shaky wheels, along with the rest of the United States electric vehicle industry, along with China's, along with everybody's. People don't want electric vehicles. They're realizing how costly they are, not just to buy them outright, when you purchase a vehicle, but the upkeep and those batteries. Well, when they have to be replaced, you're going to shell out $30,000, $20,000 for that battery? Really? And they're giving nearly $1 billion of Illinoisans' tax dollars to a company that has been losing over $43,000 for every vehicle it sells, and has had 2 rounds of layoffs. I think that this is a giveaway. What do you think? I think that they're giving the higher-ups of Rivian money just for the sake of it. I'm going to post this video for anybody who has a garden, and you may want to watch it, because these folks are talking about their entire crop gone, and what they realized was, after investigating why, the smell of ammonia.
Right here, and I pulled up what was in this hole. I pulled up everything that was in this hole. There's nothing in here, no tunnels, no nothing that I can feel. I'm literally having to work to get the soil out. Voles will leave a tunnel, right? There'll be a tunnel to let you know that they were present. And as I mashed around and looked around, down in the hole where I planted the crop, there's no tunnel. But then, you all, I smelled the soil. I smelled it. I smelled the soil that we have in this hole. I squeezed it together, and it's staying together pretty good, and I smelled it. And this one, just like all of the other holes that I've smelled here and in the other areas, this is pure ammonia. This is pure ammonia. Now, how many years?
Black cow manure. Huh. Pennsylvania arrests farmers and imprisons them without due process. We've got a lot of communism going on, okay? A whole lot of communism on steroids going on.
Attorney Robert Barnes is representing Ethan Wentworth of Airville and Rusty Herr of Christiana.
I've seen crazy cases. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
There are former dairy farmers who now operate Noble Solutions, a breeding company which helps dairy farms with reproductive management of cattle. For 2 weeks, the men have sat in prison, denied bail.
They are still as baffled today as they were the day they were suddenly jailed. As to why they're there, what happened, did they do something wrong? They're still trying to figure that out. Is there some way they can fix it?
According to prison officials, Wentworth was booked into the York County Prison on April 10th for a 30-day sentence on a civil charge. Herr was arrested 1 day later on a contempt of court charge and sent to Lancaster County Prison for a 30-day sentence as well. Barnes says neither were given due process.
Hey there, friends.
All right, so he explains it all. I'll put the link in again. Oh, civil matter, and they're put in jail. Okay. Well, that means that we no longer are a country ruled by law, but ruled at the whim of a judge. Wind cancels outdoor activities across the Las Vegas Valley. Wind. Now we have forecasts of wind. West Side Cinco de Mayo celebrations canceled after reports of gang violence. Gangs are taking over.
News to tell you about violence prompts the Cermak Road Cinco de Mayo parade to be disrupted as gunshots ring out.
WGN's Courtney Spinelli is live on the West Side with the latest. Courtney.
Jackie and Taman, good afternoon. This afternoon, multiple people were arrested as tensions escalated in the city's Little Village neighborhood. Police say multiple guns were recovered, multiple objects were thrown at officers, and we do know that those taken into custody were taken to several places, one of those police districts right here at CPD's 10th District.
It's just it's out of control.
This right here, part of the reason why the historic Cinco de Mayo parade was canceled Sunday afternoon. It was set to step off at noon near Cermak and Damon, making its way to Marshall in California.
A lot of families, a lot of kids love parades. You know, I hate to see it happen, and, you know, it really bothers me, and it bothers.
Well, it should bother everybody, right? Okay, with all of the illegal migrants and all of the gangs coming across the border, we're going to see more and more of this, where gangs will be in complete control of a whole lot of neighborhoods in cities. This is Chicago. 4 gunmen shoot up homes. Memphis, Tennessee. Record number of sea lions have crashed on San Francisco's Pier 39, which is really, wow. It's a wow.
So the numbers that we're seeing right now are over 1,000. We've counted them. When they first came here, historically in the early 90s, we did have these kind of numbers. In fact, they got up to 1,700 sometimes. And but over the years, that's dwindled down to an average, I would say, of between 300 and 400 in the winter, and as the spring comes in, maybe up to 700. So you're looking at, you know, almost double the numbers. And the reason they've arrived is there's a huge school of anchovy that was off the Farallon Islands that's in the bay right now. So it's all about the seafood. It's all about the food. And these animals, a lot of them are on their way down south at the moment. A big herd of them are on the way down south for the mating season. It's a very good way to put it is that they're fueling up for the mating season. And, you know, it's spring, so they're ready to rock and roll down in the Channel Islands. And we're a nice little pit stop with some great seafood. We actually build these here, and we have to use 3 times the density of flotation that we do on the normal docks. These are custom made to support these guys. We've never had one sink or capsize yet, but you know,
getting put to the test now.
yeah,
for sure.
I think we are close to our maximum.
It is crazy. I've never seen that many sea lions in one place, and it's awesome to see them. It's very loud, of course, but it's really nice to see all of them, and it's funny to watch them fight and and relax in the sun.
It's not like in a zoo. They're not trapped. They can be here if they want to be here, but it's just so cool to see them all here, and it's so interesting. They're so loud.
The bay is very healthy right now. If it wasn't, we wouldn't see these kind of numbers for sure. So it's good news all around.
That's very cool. It's nice to hear the bay is healthy. And something that's happening that is not because they're desperate to get out of the waters from the, you know, sonic experiments from our Navy. That's nice. So, dude, what the fuck? Kind of like your username. And I think you wrote in the very beginning that you were new. So, nice to have you on board. You know what? We have more e-bike explosions. Oh boy. Long Beach declares public health emergency after deadly tuberculosis outbreak. Why do you think that's happening? Because a whole lot of people are coming across the border and they have tuberculosis. So we're bringing that back into the fold here. All right, I am tired. I have more for you, but I'm going to say, please, please, please live honestly, speak honestly. I will beg, I'll get on my knees and beg. Please live honestly, speak honestly. It is really important. It's the only way only possible way of manifesting anything better than what we have. And it is absolutely essential for our community so that we can trust one another. Yeah. If you got an awful lot of immaturity and you haven't done any of that self-reflection and haven't done any of that work to improve, to mature, start doing it. It's very important. My neck is not quite right. And bring your best self to life. If you're in these areas that are close to these weather events, you know, go. Help those in your community. Things are not good, okay? A whole lot of people are suffering. Humanity. There's an awful lot of opportunities to show your humanity. Grab on to those opportunities. Take them. Very important. And on that note, I say, make sure your awareness is hardwired when you're out and about, when you're inside your own home, when you're in your driveways. And do you have a plan? Should that weather warfare come knocking at your door and boop, there goes your door? If you don't have a plan, if you don't have what's really important when you lose everything, all the documents that you're going to need high up somewhere, do it. Do it. Because this is getting pretty out of hand, should I say? It's bad. Massive flooding that is taking place along with the tornadoes that, again, am I going to wake up tomorrow morning and see an awful lot of destruction in Indiana, in Ohio, perhaps Michigan? It's a daily occurrence now, so. And I don't know about any of you, but I sure do feel like the walls are closing in. And a whole lot is going to be happening as we go forward. So yeah, now is the time to really bring our best selves, to be kind, to be helpful, to be compassionate, to be, and caring, genuinely. And above all, be safe. Good night, good luck. Ciao.